Thank you for this nice introduction. Hello, everyone. Have you ever wondered how to create a platform that will be inclusive for everyone? And as you already heard, today we would like to share our perspective, design perspective this time. My name is Aleksandra Osinska. I'm UX researcher and UX consultant responsible for the research and strategy phase. And this is Natalia Sidor, design manager who is taking our and changing our insights into great designs that have influence of thousands of viewers every day. And together with Natalia, we took part in many different projects for companies from different sectors and different sizes, but always with some specific, well, or not so well, but still defined personas or users groups. But then, the first government platform clients came to us, and we realized that we have to extend and adjust our approach. So let's start from the beginning. How do we understand and what government platforms are for us? Government platforms are digital systems that are created, designed to assist everyone during some live events. And what is crucial here is that those systems, those platforms, has to provide as seamless interface, as seamless experience as possible, so that everyone can do what they need. And why designing government platform is so different than e-commerces, than any other type of services. First of all, we are designing for literally everyone, every human with different life situations, different needs and expectations. Then the goal of a government platform is not only to provide a service, but also to educate the user. So the person who is doing something for the very first time can understand what are the steps, how the process looks like. Of course, we have also some issues related to law, to some administrative procedures and processes. And of course, we are talking about very sensitive data. And we are probably all of us, we are not so eager to share our personal data, so we want to make sure that they are secure. And last but not least, using government platform is not a pleasure, it's a must. It's not that we are, having some leisure time, we want to do something, okay, I will have a look on Gov platform. It's not the case. So this is something that we have to use, of course, in different countries in different ways, but still, this is a must. So how do we know how to design government platforms? Because there are no local competitors, we can't check how others are doing it to get some good patterns. So we realized that we need to look globally. And that's why we analyzed 14 benchmarks, platforms from 14 countries, to understand what are universal best practices worldwide. And all of them, all of our insights, all of our thoughts are gathered in our report. And to just explain how we worked, we spent almost 2,000 hours only on UX research to find out and understand how other countries are proceeding, how they are creating their government platforms, how does it look like. We mapped over 1,000 screens. We also did almost 3,000 of user research with people from different countries to understand what is their perspective and what do they think of their local government platforms. all of this work, these insights allowed us to create 36 best practices and over 100 indicators that can help us assess good government platforms. And at the end, we also defined 18 strategic recommendations that can be used everywhere over the world. As I mentioned before, those 100 guidelines are categorized into 16 categories. And of course, we don't have time today to go one by one, but just to have some sneak peek, we took into consideration things as ease of use, interface elements, content, security, but also user feedback. The crucial insight that we found out is that those platforms have to be created in a content-first approach. But how we can create a good content if we don't know who our user is, our final user? So we need to start creating user stories and thinking about different cases of people that will probably use our government platform now or later. And we have to think about young people, so people who are doing something for the very first time. For example, they are applying for their very first ID. Then adults that are, for example, want to get married. We also have to think about seniors that are, for example, close, they're about to finish their job, so they want to calculate their pension. We are thinking about foreigners, people who came to our country because they want to study or work, as well as business owners that are already having the company, or they are starting the other one or the very first one. And this is not the end, because all of those groups have different life situations, different life events. They can be different also by their digital fluency. So we have newbies and natives, people who are not so into using apps or internet or website at all, as well as people who are doing on their daily basis. We have another perspective, so the level of expertise. And we have to think about people who have no idea what the service looks like, what is the process, what are the next steps, and if I'm pregnant, what I have to do. And the other side, so people who are doing it something every month, for example. So it's like almost automatical. And again, this is not the end, because some of those services that we have to create and design are used in different life moments. So, for example, we are applying for ID when we are teenagers. Then we can apply for ID for our children. And then, for example, we have to renew our ID when we lost it or when it just expired. And there are many more challenges, just to name a couple of them. We have to cover and take care of people with different level of technical skills, different accessibility requirements to make it really inclusive for everyone with every type of need. Various translations, because more of our societies are using many languages, and we need to provide the services inclusive for everyone, and cultural differences. And this is a very important element that we have to remember, because all over the world we can see that we have another expectations, another needs, so we need to make sure that we really answer to each of them. Then lack of information about the local legacy, and it's not only related to foreigners, but also to us when we are doing something for the very first time, or we did it previously, for example, 5-10 years ago. And the last but not least, process divided among different platforms. This is a huge issue in some of the countries in which we are starting a process on one platform, then we have to move to another ministry platform and finish it in person in the office, for example, and there's no place when we can gather all of the information about the process in one place.
Okay, so we already know what changes we have during designing the platform for everyone. We also know what does it mean every user. And we should keep in mind that we are different, but we have the same needs. We want to apply for passport, ID, or some other services, but we have a different ways to satisfy it and to achieve this goal. We are used to do these services through a city hall in the offline processes, but now more and more services are available online. So we need to take care of the harmony between the full experience. We need to take a look into offline experience and translate it and improve it in the digital world. So now let's dig into the designing process. So to give you tips how to design the digital platform, let's go through the applying for a passport process with Kate, our persona for today. So first, of course, Kate needs to enter the office or the Gov platform website. In a lot of countries, more and more services are available online. But for example, in Poland, applying for a passport, it's not. So Kate needs to go to the office. And first thing about designing the digital product, the government platform, is to create a roadmap which will show which services we can easily transfer into digital world and which are more difficult due to data security or any challenges that Ola mentioned. So, providing a digital services is more accessible for users because we have a different life situation. We have people with disabilities, we have pregnant women, we have parents with young children, and it's easier for them to tackle with all governmental services from home. But there are also elderly, which prefer the offline experience. Okay, so let's assume that applying for passport is available online. And applying for passport is an easy case. Kate probably knows what she wants. She wants to apply for passport, and she probably knows why she wants it. She wants to go abroad for a holiday. But sometimes we don't know what should we do. We just know about our life situation, our life events. For example, we expecting a baby, or we are moving, we are preparing for retirement. And these governmental issues are often stressful for us, and sometimes we don't know what should we do. So first thing, we should help users specifying their needs. We should enable categorization not only by specific services like ID, passport, but also by life events. Okay, so when our users know what they exactly want, they need to find the passport service. And in offline experience, we have some signs above stands, we have some signs in corridors, sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder to find the right one. In the online experience, it's easier. We have a lot of tools that we can implement. First, after entering the page, users should see the most requested services, the services that they can do online, or the information that can find on the website. And then, of course, it's nothing new. We should provide an easily visible and accessible navigation bar, as in most cases, most websites. Navigation should be visible all the time. So it doesn't matter where user is on our site, they can always go to this top bar and change the service that they're looking for or change the location. And what else? We have search. Let's imagine that we enter the grocery and we can find immediately the product that we want to buy. It's hard to do, right? But in the digital world, we can. And often users, if they know what they're looking for, they use search and go directly to the service that they need. So again, we should provide a different ways to satisfying the needs, the different ways to achieve the goals, because our users have different mental models. Okay, so sometimes we also unsure what should we do, what documentation should we have to tackle with administrative matters. And in the real world, we always have something like information center. And we should provide such thing also in the digital world. So we should implement the knowledge center. And here, it's very important to have this content-first approach. So first, we should gather all information that we want to show to users, and then thinking about how we should categorize them, how we should provide them via the website. We should cooperate not only with designers, but also with copywriters, UX writers. So we shouldn't pull out all information at once, because our persona, Kate, let's assume that she doesn't have children. So she doesn't need information about applying for a passport for a child. So the whole information about one service can overwhelm her, and we don't want that. So we should pull out the necessary information and hide under the links. Okay, so if our user have all information that she needs, now is the time to fill out all forms. And in Poland, these forms are often long, complicated, and we can easily change it in the digital world. We can break down long forms into simple steps. We can adjust what we are showing to users based on their previous answers. So users don't need to see all inputs for all users. They can see only those that are related with their case. What's more, we should use accessible text, and we should ensure that the forms are accessible for everyone. So we have focus states. We can go through the forms via keyboard or read them via screen readers. Often when providing all information or filling the forms, we are not sure what data type we should provide. And when Kate is in office, she can always ask the staff, and she probably get the answer. And we should provide such help also in the digital world. So we should use contextual hints. And it's not about providing all information to all users, but we should show the entry points to additional information that will help users achieving their goals. And we should provide this information, this contextual information, in different forms. So here it's a good example from UK. We have here photos that can explain visually how we should take the photo, but we can have also a text, and we have here video with transcription. So it doesn't matter what mental models users have, how they getting the information, they will find something for themselves. And often when we are filling out complicated forms, we do something wrong, we miss some information. And again, in the office, we have the staff that can tell us what should we change, what should we add additionally. And same we should provide in the digital world. So we should think about different cases, about different errors that users can make, and provide validation messages that should be factual, understandable, and easily visible. We should tell users not only that they made some mistake, but we should tell them how they can fix it. And at the end, we want to know what the next steps are if everything went smooth. And again, in the office, we have this lady that can tell us about next step, that can tell us if we need to take some action, when we should expect the passport to be ready for collection. And the same should be online. We should always provide thank you pages or error pages with next step. Users should be informed that everything went smooth, or that something else needs to be taken to achieve the goal, to end the process. She also should know how long should we wait for the passport. And with this is related informing users. We should use tools that we have in digital world, like SMS, mail, push notifications. And we should inform users with statuses, with changes, with action that they should take. And here we should provide this harmony between online and offline experience. So if our user starts the process offline, she also should have notifications online. So we should think about the whole process. And the notifications are very important. 2 years ago, I was in Cape Town and I was applying for visa prolonged, and I was waiting 3 months without any messages about my visa, and I was stressful because I was there and my visa was going to expire, and I didn't know what should I do, and I didn't have any place to check them. And last but not least, where possible, we should exploit the possibilities of the digital world even further. Imagine that we can enter the city hall, and it's very cozy. We have some space to drink tea, to drink coffee, before we start filling all forms. It's difficult, it's expensive, and unreal. But in the digital world, we can do it easily. And we shouldn't be serious, we shouldn't be rigid. I know that government platform is a formal thing, but it can be still friendly, it can be approachable, and it can be more pleasant for eye. Okay, so that's the end of Kate's story. So what you need is to ensure this harmony between the online and offline experience. Before we start designing the online experience, we should analyze the whole offline experience, and we should check what can we do better, and we should all help that user have in the real world apply also in the digital world, to make these processes, to make this stressful situation less stressful and more accessible, more pleasant for all users. Because as Ola said, everyone needs to do some government stuff at specific time in their lives. So that's all from our side. If you want to have more insights from our report, you can check all information through QR code. You can check the whole report, and thank you so much.
Thank you.